welcome to this Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this 2018 Elddis Avante 554. Now, eagle-eyed people probably might want to know that these haven't changed very much in layout or operationally. There's slight differences on the new ones, the fridge is slightly different, but not a great deal has changed. But once we get our new ones in, we'll do an updated one on the 2026 models. Right, I'm going to start around the back where I always do. So, round the back here, I have just noticed something's landed from one of our feathered friends on the back, so we'll try to avoid that as much as possible. However, right, so we've got Highline brake light, grab handles, useful for manoeuvring around. It's a single axle, it's not particularly heavy, so they are quite easily manoeuvrable. So light clusters, we've got indicators, reversing lights, running lights, brake lights and fog lights. We've got an area for the number plate. Corner steadies at the back are accessed from here. And the most important part about this caravan is clearly that, the Wiltshire Caravans sign. Coming around to the side, the first bit, the second most important part of the caravan is the toilet area. So this one does have a reservoir. So the reservoir is used for the flush. There are some models that just go direct off the water feed, but these have their own separate reservoir. So in there you can put some of the pink solution. Make sure that's diluted down with water. Check on the bottle to see what the dilution rates are. A lot of people just use water, and it's only because if the concentration levels are too high on the pink, it can kind of sticks on the impeller, and it will cause it to fail eventually, and it will need cleaning out. But all I ever use is a couple of litres of water in an old pop bottle, a couple of litres of water in, then you're ready to go. This is the standard Thetford toilet cassette. Access, lift that up and pull it out. If you find there's quite some resistance against pulling this out, it might mean that you've left the flap open in the toilet itself, which would be somewhat problematic, and you can then try and wrench it out and break things. Do you want to press pause? All right, okay. So to empty, you'll know when you need emptying it. There's a light that comes on next to the flush button, but so you have got the option of trolley dollying it over to the area for the waste. Take this lid off, put it somewhere safe. Don't let it fall into the hole where you're going to put everything in. I'm just going to put it back in for now, because we're not actually, there's nothing in it. Right, over the hole, then press that button to release any air pressure. That will help the flavour flood out, as they say. You'll want to rinse the cassette out, slide that back, open that flap. There's always a hose pipe around in that area. Give it a swirl around, close that, put the cap back on, give it a swirl, cap off, repeat the process. And that will keep your toilet nice and clean. There are chemicals you can use to clean out your toilet cassette every now and then, depending on how much you use them. Right, one of the important things I bang on about is winterizing a caravan, making sure there's no fluids in here that can freeze over winter. So to empty this reservoir, there's a little pipe just under here. Yeah, little black pipe, got a little bung on it. Make sure you've got a bucket with you, otherwise you'll get wet. Take the bung out, make sure everything runs out, all runs on gravity. Thank you very much, Sir Isaac Newton. But my advice is always lock the cabinet up, because in case someone's dropped their lid into the hole, probably won't want to go and get it. Next thing, waste pipes. So this is for the grey waste. By grey waste we mean wastewater from both sinks, so bathroom and kitchen, and from the shower. Get a couple of bits of pipe into a waste master, unless you're on a fully serviced pitch, when you can get some longer pipe. Okay, moving along, alloy wheels on all of these, the Elddis Caravans. The wheel nuts are torqued up to 130 Newton meters. I will show you where you can actually view that information. Got freezer vent and fridge vent. Got a motor mover on here. Now, there's a separate video for the motor mover, but so that's not overly important. We've also got a balanced flue and an exhaust for the gas. So if you're using your heating and hot water on gas, that's the exhaust ports there. Coming up to the battery box. You may be very surprised to find that in here is a battery. And this is also where you've got your electric hookup. You will possibly, I'm not sure if you can see, behind it there is a 12 volt socket and an antenna point. And this part is the isolator for the motor mover. Like I say, that's a separate video, but it's placed there so you cannot activate your motor movers while you're still plugged in. That's a good thing. Looking at this, it looks like this one's already got a solar panel on it, so it's got extra wires. But again, that's not overly important. Next part, your water inlet. So let me just grab the water pump from the gas locker. Bear in mind these gas lockers go to about there. That's as high as it goes, so be very aware about catching your head on there. I mean, I used to have dreadlocks till I started working here. That's not strictly true. Okay, so water pump, Whale water pumps, Whale system. So this is probably the active part that goes into the water. You've got a lid that goes over the lid on your aqua roll. But this just clicks in there, clicks down. Put that in your water pump, give it a couple of pushes just to prime it, so to speak. But when you are changing your water barrel, you can just put that in there to stop this falling on the floor and getting dirt on it or grit or whatever, or any other kind of detritus. That's a big word for the day, detritus. Right, coming around to the front. So, Elddis Caravan, 3 windows, 2 at the side, obviously a large one in the middle, and you've got a nice sunroof there, letting in lots of light. Inside the gas locker, you've got room for 2 gas bottles, but only 1 regulator, so you will have to probably buy a gas spanner just to change a bottle over, if you have 2. I know some people who don't use many gas bottles. I know some people who use loads of them. Also in here we've got electric lead, engagement bar for the motor mover, leg winder. Just don't fall into the trap of filling that up as much as you can. It's not worth it. Okay, grab handles again, help maneuverability. We're running on the Alco chassis. Now this Alco chassis has the Alco ATC, so Alco trailer control. Basically there's a sensor underneath on the chassis that if the caravan should start to move around, it will damp the brakes on to stabilise things. Hopefully the only time you should notice this is going over a sleeping policeman or speed hump, whatever you want to call them. Then it feels heavy for a couple of seconds, which I always found quite comforting knowing that the system's working. I've got a separate video for hitching up, so I'm not going to go into any much more detail on the hitch. We have an outside gas barbecue point. So if you do want to use a gas barbecue, whether that be a Caddock or any other variety, we do sell Caddocks here, by the way. Again, I always mention it. Please, please do not use a gas barbecue inside your awning. The idea of a big flame and fabric is never a good idea. Okay, didn't mention it on the other side, but access to winding your legs up and down is in here at the front. So we have a locker, well, an external locker that goes under the front bed or front sofa, whatever you want to call it. It does have an 230 electric point. The previous owner has left an extension lead here, which can run through there to go into your awning, should you wish to do so. Coming to this side, love the robins. Anyway, completely irrelevant. So door, this door is they call it a stable door. So you can basically just open the top. If you've got kids, or if you've got animals, or if you've got kids who are animals, you can shut them in or out as you require. Vents here for the microwave. Again, back to the alloy wheels. I was telling about the wheel nut torque. And now there's a lot of information on this. This is called the weight plate. So it tells us the maximum plated weight. So the MTPLM of this caravan is 13 kilograms. The massive running order, so basically empty with a gas bottle, is 1,260 kilograms. So then you work out what your payload is. Bear in mind you've got about 30 kilos worth of motor movers on here. That's the way to work it out. Also information on here, your CRIS number, which you also have on your windows, but this also tells tyre size, tyre pressure, very important on a caravan. 58 psi on here, so it sounds quite high, but it is a single axle and you're nearly 1,500 kilos. Wheel bolt torque, so 102 Newton meters on the steel, so the spare wheel that is underneath at the back, that is 102 Newton meters and 130 Newton meters on the alloys. These should be checked regularly. They used to say every journey, but now they just say make sure you check it regularly. And this is just an access locker under the bed, so you can access all that storage space from outside. Coming to this point, because that area is behind the wheel or the axle, make sure you don't put anything particularly heavy in there whilst travelling. It's very much a case of if you're carrying anything heavy, be it an awning or something like that, make sure it's on the floor over the axle. Right, come inside. Let's come and have a quick look. And I will hide the name of the person this actually belongs to. There's nothing like preparation, eh, Mark? Right, so here we are in the... Oh, God, I sounded like Martin from Pearman Briggs. Right, Martin. So here we are. Front of standard configuration, 2 benches. It's got the bed in the transverse bed. It's not quite in the middle, but towards the back, and an end bathroom. I'm only doing that so you get to see Mark in the mirror. Okay, right, important stuff. So when you've reversed on perfectly, not using your motor movers onto your pitch, and you've leveled up, again, got separate videos for that. You'll plug your power in and you're ready to go. So whether Mark can see this well enough, I don't know, but your master switch, so your main power, is that one. Okay, so this panel will come on. If it doesn't come on for any reason, it might be that either the pole where you've plugged the electric in outside, the breaker switch is not down, or I can show you where the breakers are in here. So under here, there's the PDU. So you've got all your breakers all labelled up nicely and your fuses. Okay, now if it hasn't powered up, it's probably a breaker down if it's all right on the pole outside. We have a test facility, so by pressing this, if that goes down when you press that, that means power is coming into the caravan. So then it might be something different. It's a good idea to test that every now and then, every few months, just to make sure it's okay, but just turn it all back on. All clear as mud.
There isn't a telltale sign, your battery voltage.
Yep, there is. So also, as Mark quite rightly said, another telltale sign on this panel, bottom right hand side, it shows you the voltage. Now it's 13.4 at the moment. We are plugged into the mains, but you would expect it to be around about 12, 9, maybe 13 when the battery's fully charged up. But if it's below, well, if it's saying nothing, it won't come on in the first place. But the lower it is, the worse. Anything under, I think, is it 11 and a half? You start to think that the battery is either not charging well or is possibly coming towards the end of its life. Anyway, continuing. So that's the master switch there. Internal lights. Now any internal lights that were already left on, for example, these have all got their own individual switches, they'll just come on, not a problem. This one is just the awning light. I say just the awning light, it's the awning light. Okay, whilst we're still here, might as well go through this panel. So, top left is for your heating. How warm do you want the caravan to be, or what's the minimum temperature you want in your caravan? So press on that, then you've got your options. So this is for the temperature, it's just a thermostat in effect, up and down. Where do you want it to be? What do you want the minimum temperature to be? Okay, currently the power is off. You've got options of 2.9 amps, 5.7 amps or 11.3 amps. Now with a lot of sites you might only have 10 amps available to you, in which case you'll probably be going to start on 5.7 as a maximum. Once it's at temperature you can then drop that down to 2.9. That way you've got more power available throughout the rest of the van, because this is only for this system only, not for the whole van, just this system. Okay, you can, if you wish, or if you have the option, if you're off grid, just use gas. You can also, if you're on site and you're very cold and you want to warm up very quickly, you can go on to max, so you can use gas and electric. Another thing to remember about this is there's 5.7 on this part. This is just for the heating. I'm going to show you the water in a minute. You need to add some more for the water, so be aware of how much you've got available or how much you want to use. Nice feature in here that you also have just a fan. Now this fan will just circulate air and whatever the air temperature is outside, it will just draw air in and run it around. You also have a frost setting, so you can set, basically, you need to be plugged in, and if you keep your caravan at home over winter, then you can set it on a frost setting where you can set the temperature to whatever you want that to be. So 5, 6, 7 degrees just to make sure nothing freezes up in here. This is your enter button. Okay, so in effect go back, press the enter button. The next one is the water, hot water. Okay, as you saw, well, frost, same thing as I was mentioning on the heating. Eco, so you've got to heat it up. 3.3 amps is your option, okay? I'm reluctant to do so because there's no water in here at the moment, but press 3.3 and Eco, that's your best bet to warm the water up. You do have a timed boost option, so if you put it on electric or gas to boost it, then it will fire up as much power as it can do to heat that up very, very quickly. The timed boost on this one I think is set for an hour. I'll double check. Yeah, you can change that within the settings. Clear as mud? Excellent. Now, if at any time you get a little red exclamation mark, it will be asking you to press the reset button. Now, for the hot water, the reset button is down here, next to the drain down tap, which we'll be getting to shortly. So there is your reset button. Now, I need to think for the life of me if it's got a separate one for the heating, and if it has, where is it? Let me think about that one for a minute or two. I have a feeling it's under here. And it is. It is indeed under here. It's unusual, but I got one right for a change. Oh, is it? I thought I saw it a minute ago. Just under there. Can you see it?
It is there.
It is? Yeah. So there is a little red button under there as well. So if the heating one comes on with an exclamation mark, you need to get in there. It's probably easier if you actually take all the cushions off, but
Normally it only ever happens if you don't shut the systems down right.
and that's where I was getting to next. So this system has a rundown cycle. So before you're going to leave site and you think I'm going to switch everything off, don't just go switch everything straight off. With the system, make sure off is off. It will then go through a rundown cycle, probably about 5 minutes or so, where everything will just slowly wind down. Because if you don't do that, the next time you turn the master switch on, the power on, it might be a bit confused and it can throw up a fault on there. Anyway, there we go. That's that bit. Right, over here, bottom left it says pump. It's nothing to do with going to the gym. It's when your water pump is in outside into your water barrel, press pump. It will say pump running, pump ready. Pump is obviously not running because there's nothing in there at the moment, but that's all you need to do to bring the water in. Now, while I'm talking about water in, we also need to make sure, particularly again winter or for travelling, the water is out. Okay, so I mentioned the drain down valve down there. That big yellow tap, that's your drain down valve. When you're draining the system down, drain that, open that tap, and open your taps as well. So on your sink, your shower and your bathroom sink as well. Make sure they're all open. That way the air can whiz its way through and we won't have any problems with frost damage. Frost damage is an absolute nightmare. It's an expensive thing for a caravan because it's never covered under warranty. It is literally down to the customer, okay? So to the user. Right. Couple more things on here. You've got, that's the time basically, and as I was saying about the voltage, just to see what you've got going in the caravan. It's fairly accurate, but you can never be 100% sure with these. Now, if you press and hold the enter button, you'll get to forget that stuff. That's all our star stuff. You've got some user settings in effect. You can set the clock. You can set the room timer or the water timer. So if you're going to be out for the day, but you know when you're going to be back, you can set that. You can, yeah, it's very simple. You just do whatever you need to do to get it there. It's quite straightforward. Hold. Same with the water timer. Set the clock, set to whatever time you want. Last one. Then you've got options. So you've got, if you're on a site that's only got 10 amps, whilst you can put it down like that, I don't know many people that do. They just generally leave it where it is. You can also change the brightness of the screen. How long do you want the boost to go for? So 15 minutes upwards. I'm going to leave it at 30. Screen off after 3 minutes, so this will just, the screen itself will just turn off. Beep on or off, I think we'll go for off. That's much better. No, flashing light. Flashing light. What's the flashing light? Is that when it flashes around here?
Yep.
What does that indicate? I'm sorry, I'm being a bit daft.
Just that it's active.
Oh, just that it's, yeah, okay, yeah, just that it's active, that makes sense. Okay, well, I'll put that back on then. There you go, how lovely. But that is the system. It's very straightforward, very easy to use. Again, anything like that, if you are struggling with anything, just give us a call, 01373 752 100. Option 1 is sales. Just give us a call, say I'm not quite sure how to do this, and we'll probably have to pass you through to the engineers, and Simon won't thank me for that. Okay, so back to the front, usually. Got a nice little table up here, so you can have a nice cup of tea in the morning or a glass of adult lemonade in the evening. Got some drawers here. To make up this bed, we'll need to lift that up a bit. You've got slats over here. That comes down. Readjust the seating so you can have a double bed there. Okay. Entertainment system. Not in here at the moment, but this has a radio and a CD player, so it's a posh one. It's a good one. More important, most people think about is the TV antenna. So to lift the TV antenna up, undo that white nut there, lift it up, turn the TV aerial into the same direction everyone else has got theirs, tighten that up, and then retune your television. And if it doesn't work, I'm out of ideas. Okay, that's just the booster, the amplifier for the antenna, and the antenna works for the radio and the TV. All right. Okay, kitchen side. Very simple. Kitchen light, on or off. Very simple. Got two 230-volt sockets there. Someone's clearly forgotten that they've got their keys in their pocket, and they've probably just set the alarm off. It's a different story. Blinds, all the blinds in here, I've got fly screens and blackout blinds, with one exception. The big sunroof has only got a blackout blind because it doesn't open. All right. just sort of while I'm remembering that. So, oh yeah, kitchen side, lots of cabinet space, Dometic fridge, again nice and straightforward to use. Power button is there. Got 3 options. You've got on electricity, which we're plugged into. You can go on gas, or you can run off the car alternator. Let's put that back on, stop it beeping. Now, with the car alternator, basically what that'll do, that will maintain the temperature of your fridge. It will not cool it down from the start, it will only maintain a temperature. So if you're, for example, in storage, it's going to make no difference whatsoever, unless when you're coming home, you'll be able to keep stuff cool. If you've got it at home and you can cool it down day or two beforehand, turn the fridge on, then you'll be fine. As long as you've got a 13 pin plug, or if you have 2 7s on the older style. To change the temperature on these, it's literally just press the little thermometer button. Very straightforward. They can get quite cold. They can also, bear in mind, if you're in a caravan that's at 45 degrees because it's 30 degrees outside, sometimes they're going to struggle a bit. They might not be they're certainly not going to be as efficient as a fridge at home. But so yes, they have limitations. However, they are very, very good. Also, you've got a little freezer compartment, so you can put your ice in for your gin and tonics or whatever your choice of tipple might be. You do have also an option for when you're storing your caravan. If you bring this out, push, oh God, old man hands. Well, anyway, this comes forward, so you can't close the door, all right?
What's the triangle button for?
The triangle button? Ah, so right, on the gas. So when you press it onto gas, basically it'll start flashing. And it's a reset. That's pretty much all it is. But thank you for that, Byron.
Most usually if the gas hasn't been purged through for a little while, it might take a few times to light.
This is true, and also it's very good idea is every now and then to fire up the fridge on gas. It will cool down faster than it does on electric as well, but if it just makes sure that the system is running and it you've got gas coming through. It's a lot of people won't do that because they think, oh, I've already paid for my electric on site, so I'm just using that. It's just a good, like a maintenance thing. Yeah. Okay, right, cooker. So we have got the Thetford Aspire 2. I don't know what's aspiring to, but it is the Thetford Aspire 2. You've got 3 gas burners and 1 electric hob. Now the electric hob is, gas burners won't spark up while the lid is down, but this hob may well do so. So what they have done in their infinite wisdom to avoid any, it's mainly for if you might be clumsy like me and knock it, or you might have kids that might just go around going, ooh, what are these doing? Under the cooker there is a plug and a switch. Basically turn that off or unplug it, you're not going to have any problems with that. There are also, although you probably won't see from here, there's also a couple of gas isolators here, one for the fridge and one for the cooker. Now, if you're using butane, for example, where you don't switch on and off at the bottle, you might want to use those. It's entirely up to you, but we generally recommend propane. Just turn it off at the bottle, and when you want to purge the system, turn on a gas burner, spark it up, and happy days. But I'm not going to teach you how to use a cooker because I am rubbish at cooking. Ask the wife. Not yours, mine. So you've got a separate grill and oven. That's my knowledge of cookers, to be fair. It's not great. But I do know I can work my way around a microwave like no one else. So again, the microwave has a separate isolator. So it's got a separate switch. It's an eco model, so to turn it on in the first place, just press eco, press it, and then twice. Yeah, it is twice, I guess. But yeah, so press it up and then read the manual. It's a microwave. Do what you want. Okay. Also, an area here you've got for your TV. 24-inch TV will fit in there quite nicely. I know I had one of these layouts and it fits in quite nicely. You've got your 12-volt socket. You've also got your antenna points. So you've got a standard antenna, coax, and the F-type. The rest of it now is pretty much just it's nothing complicated now. I was mentioning the storage under the bed. That will just lift up and give you all that storage. As I said before, when traveling, don't put your heavy stuff under here. You don't want weight at the back, particularly for stability, and you don't want too much weight at the front for the nose weight. So just be aware. To actually bring the bed out, literally just pull this out, these flat back, and then you have a 6'1", 6'2" bed. Cupboard space, toilet. I do want to show you something in the toilet, please. Well, that didn't sound quite right, did it? I don't want to show you something in the toilet. Yeah, that went all wrong. So there's your flush. So that's the flush done. That's where the light will come on when the cassette is full. I was talking about the flap must be closed. So right, just emptying out what I've just put in from the flush. But if I was to try to take the cassette out now, it would struggle and I'd probably get frustrated and break it. Make sure that flap is absolutely closed. That way the cassette will come out without any problem at all. This is not standard, but someone has fitted an electric towel heater in this one. But that's not a standard feature. And then you've got a full-size shower, sink, these lights, thank you. Right, to open these, luckily it's dry today, pressure down and pull across, and that'll just stop wherever you want it to. Now, very importantly, when you're closing it, make sure the lugs are in the areas correctly. Also make sure that you close all of your roof lights before traveling. This is the same type. Again, blackout blinds and fly screens all round. The only one who's got slightly different is at the front here. So to open, press that in. Literally you can go full way or you can go partial ways, but make sure you close it down before you leave. And blackout blinds, fly screens again. That's pretty much the basics of this caravan. There's not a lot else to really show, but if you have any more questions, different questions, give us a call. 01373 752 100 option 1. One's for sales, 2 is for service, 3 is for storage. Shop, sorry, 3 is for shop, 4 is for after sales. So 2 is for service and storage. You can contact us by email, sales@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk or info@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. Obviously our website, wiltshirecaravans.co.uk, strangely enough. We love it when people come to visit us. We're at 36 Headquarters Road on the West Wilts Trading Estate in Westbury. Postcode is BA134JR. Normally at this point I'm giving my own postcode out, which is not particularly bright of me. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, TikTok. Kaylee does some wonderfully funny videos on TikTok, and obviously you're probably watching this on YouTube. But yeah, any way you want to get in contact, please do. If you like our videos, please click on like and subscribe to our video channel. But that's pretty much it from me. So from me and Mark, my YTS camera guy, thank you very much. Catch you next time. Thank you.